That's right, it's another late night, which means it's time for another reach into the Just Giggle grab bag. And tonight we're pulling out. Oh my god.
What? What is it, Dragon? What is it?
It's. I, this feeling. I'm. The sketch.
Wait, wait.
It's radiating. It's radiating power. The power radiating off this thing, Tiki. I haven't felt anything like this before. It can only be.
You don't mean? You don't mean?
Oh, yes. This can only be one thing, Tiki. It's finally here. It's the Wiseaus.
Don't touch me, motherfucker.
And it's got attitude.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Finally, after a lot of hype, Dragon. I feel like this thing's been in the works for like the better part of a year, right? I want to say.
Yeah, well, it was teased up for summer of 2020, so you can see where
Uh
that went awry.
huh. But I gotta say, it was worth the wait. Of course, this is not really a Joshua Thomas product by and large. It's pretty much all Piper Hinson, right? In terms of the production side of things.
Pretty much. I mean, Joshua Thomas, he was the co-editor on this, but
Uh
obviously a one fourth of the performers, of course.
huh. So I gotta say, Dragon, this lived up to the hype, man. Of course, Mark Sipko was used in just the way we hoped he would. That was going to be a big deal breaker, Dragon. If they didn't have an oh hi Mark, then they just did it wrong,
Yep.
and they did indeed have an oh hi Mark. I don't know what else to say, man. I just think this is just a really terrific sketch. I can't wait to dive into it.
Yeah, well, I got the origin of this, but before we do that, we should probably share some good news amidst the sea of bad news of late, just to kind of cheer people up, get people
So
in kind
they
of a
got a
laughing mood.
future wife, okay?
So one of these four Tommies has a new bride on the way. It's the great Alexander Poncio.
What's your?
He see while Tiki was on a little mini vacay, Poncio got a similar idea, and he made his infinitely better by getting hitched.
Yeah, I was at the Magic Kingdom on the day it happened, and he was in Epcot. How simpatico, Dragon.
Yeah,
They got he popped the question right outside of Journey into Imagination.
yeah. I mean, how much more fitting can you get in the year of in the year of possibilities, right outside the ride of
Right,
possibilities?
right. I really hope that him and his fiance both have like an intense Figment love or something like that, and that's why he chose that particular attraction.
I mean, again, I think it might just be the imagination thing, but that'd be cool, though. Yeah.
All right, so yeah, a big congratulations to Alex Poncio. Poncio, I looked for you, buddy. If you were at the Magic Kingdom on Tuesday, let me know. I looked for you. Anyways,
All right, let's see. So again, so I was there during the premiere, and I actually got to speak with Piper and Katie Mary Garland, and a little bit of Joshua Thomas. He made like a fashionable entrance, so he's a little like more like the last seconds when they're doing that stupid like kind of like the the dun, 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 little countdown music thing
oh god.
of the premieres. Anyway, so yes, of course we've mentioned the long-awaited sketch that we've had teased up at least since Just Giggle at Home, episode 3.
Yep.
That long, which again was teased for summer. We got it January 2021. So
Why not?
yeah. Of all the other, it's a year of delays. Why not? Why should we be surprised? I'm not throwing any shade at Piper. I'm just saying, she took her time, but it was worth it though.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Anyway, so basically the reason we get this thing is there's like a chain letter effect, as there usually is with the room, where basically Piper Hinson, like many people, especially I imagine kind of the LA bunch, eventually the room kind of was passed. It was recommended to her to watch, and she watched it. She was very enamored by it, and then she kind of continued the old chain letter, as it were, by showing it to Katie Mary Garland, good old KMG, and that's kind of where the two of them co-written this. So
Okay. So KMG like got on board the room cult, as it were.
pretty much, the Why So Express, if you will.
Oh
Yes, yeah.
boy.
See, Piper's loved, Tommy Wiseau's many eccentricities, and she did a deep dive into the disaster artist. Like the two of them have seen the disaster artist movie, after Piper read the book and everything. So it's yeah. So then it ends up with Piper directing this, which you know me, Tiki. The minute I found out Piper was directing this, I knew she was editing this, but to find out she was directing this, I was very excited. I love it when Piper directs, and she's co-writing with Katie Mary Garland, which has been kind of a regular kind of team up of late. Them kind of doing a kind of co-writing sort of thing, and again co-editorship with good old Joshy Boy. And of course, some people may not be aware of this. So Tiki and I, we did a Just Giggle It biopic, and I won't spoil it necessarily, but the knowing the Wiseaus was coming factored into said biopic, and we kind of had a little bit of a through line going, kind of hyping it up. So there's we were very excited to finally get this. And now, admittedly, now that I know the backstory, I would have altered it. I might have altered a little bit. I don't know, because again, there was a big liberty taken with the Wiseau's connection, given what we portray in the biopic. But again, live and learn. We didn't know. That's what we get for delaying it a year. For delaying it to the following year. Oh, okay. All right. So all that said, this thing, I'm just in love with it from the get-go. Once you find out it's just such an ingenious concept, don't you think?
Oh, I mean, it's very simple, but it works so well. It's just like, what is Tommy Wiseau's family life like? Because of course Tommy Wiseau, he's long since just been this like mystery enigma person that, the whole joke of him is that we don't know anything about his backstory. And so what if we got a little peek behind the curtain, if you will?
What if we met Tommy's family, and which of course leads to this utterly wonderful farce, this very Wiseau-ful farce, if you will. So we begin with some room-esque credits, also Milos on the sound design.
Of course.
Speaking of engagements and such, the original kind of JGI power couple, played by Milos.
Tickling those ivories.
Yep, and I love that again. Milos's presence is felt very much kind of like her. It's like kind of how Melissa McCarthy works in her husband into her movies, and vice versa. It's kind of
Right.
Anyway, all right. So we have the Wiseau family portrayed pretty much by our namesake. Of course, the poster kind of a loving nod to like those really weird room posters. With Joshua Thomas, Piper Hinson, Katie Mary Garland, and Alexander Ponzio.
Now, one thing we have to point out is the credits, right? And because the credits is a subtle but very clever jab at the whole, like, written by Tommy Wiseau, produced by Tommy Wiseau.
Yep. Yeah, I love that each Tommy Wiseau of our main four here are different versions of either Tommy Wiseau or Johnny from The Room.
None
of them are the same, and they use all the same shirt colors from The Room. Like there's blue, red, and blue, red, and just kind of your kind of the black suit jacket.
Yeah.
All right, so also it looks like set-wise, I like that we're making what I believe to be Piper Hinson's home. I think it's her house. So we're making it look like that Tommy Greg and Tommy's place. With the candle lights and everything. It's kind of like, doing a candle lit. We have like curtains and things around it. We're basically making it look as much as kind of like a shared room, if you will, as possible. Also, I really like the little fedora thing she has up the over. I think Piper just has those, or whoever lives there has those. I don't know. I don't get it, but I kind of like it. Like the two fedora, like, the negative space, like black and white versions of the guy in the fedora with the briefcase. I don't know. It looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, so Joshua Thomas's Tommy Wiseau leads a prayer before dinner.
Yep, getting some Wiseau grace here. Forgive us for the
you don't book and the workshops you don't take. And we ask all this in your son Jesus' name. Amen, okay?
So of course they're eating. Yeah.
Right off the top, who do you think has the best impression?
Here's the thing: that I love they're all very different. None of them are the same none of them are quite the same impression outside the laugh. But I tell you, the one who my favorite of the bunch was probably Katie. Katie killed it for me. I
think Katie's was probably the most unique, if you know what I mean.
Like, I think Ponzio was the best. Katie was my favorite.
Ponzio was probably the most dead on, I think.
Yeah,
and then Katie, I think did a lot of work in terms of not just making it sound like an imitation. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I'll tell you the de facto, and I feel bad for it because here's the thing: it's not none of them are. They're all great and they're all different. But here's the thing: Piper is saddled with the most acting, therefore she is technically the worst in this. Technically,
Oh
because again,
God,
like it's like I'm watching
that's
the
such
thing.
a
It's like
twisted. That's so
because
ironic.
again, Piper Hinson, who's again, so she's like very Mary Poppins, that's practically perfect in every way. It's worked against her in this case, where it's like Piper, you're acting too much. Scale it
Oh
back.
God.
You're acting. And again, she gets the most material with the whole like when we have like the big kind of big reveals in quotes later. But we'll get there.
Oh God.
Anyway, so yeah, so
Right.
of course, yeah.
So they're all sitting around eating chicken, of course.
Which is perfect for the whole cheep 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 cheep, which is, it just makes perfect sense.
Wow, great chicken, mom.
So we have Mommy Wiseau. I love how we're credited later. We have Mommy Wiseau as Piper in the
It's like
Blue.
the Berenstain Bears or something.
Berenstein, yeah. So
uh,
she wishes Sister Wiseau, and again her name is Katie, and so Katie Wiseau apparently. So Katie Wiseau.
oh God.
Apparently, assumedly, the kids have their own names. Assumedly,
uh,
given that her name is Katie, I assume it's like Alex Wiseau being the other one, or in my heart of hearts, Ponce Wiseau.
oh no, God.
I know it's not it, but anyways, the point being, wishing her happy birthday, which again, the birthday just being a great dual thing, because one, it's a great segue to the age thing, but also again, the
Uh,
room, if I recall, and it's been a while, the room basically centered around Johnny's birthday, right in the third act.
oh yes, yeah.
So pretty much kind of a great dual, kind of two birds, one stone sort of thing.
Wow, what a party you have all my friends. Good thinking.
Oh god. Anyway, so then Tommy here. So again, pretty much straight on Tommy Wiseau is Josh. The patriarch of the family is pretty much,
Oh,
you Papa Tom, if you will. So Tommy here, he gives Sister Wiseau, gives Katie a present.
are
He
we gonna
described
go
the
over the
wrapping
age
paper.
gag?
What?
The age gag?
Well, yeah, after the age gave the whole like.
Oh,
So,
how old are you? Oh, I'm your age, mom. Which makes no sense.
and of course, it's just Josh using it here, like, well, happy for the I'm your age, something along the lines of, well, again, not saying the age, not saying the number, like, this is, well,
Oh.
happy, I'm your age if birthday. Gives her a present, and Tiki, what is this present wrapped in?
It's just a box that just says Lisa all over it.
Which then leads, I think the thing I laughed at most with Katie here, and is like, I love Katie, I think conveyed the half-lit expression best. She just did. And I love that again. All the wigs are like they're pretty good, and they're all very different.
Yeah.
So, and I think the one who turned out best is if you look at Ponce, he's pretty much like Tommy Wiseau, like the disaster artist Tommy, like pretty much like Tommy Wiseau doing the interviews for the disaster artist movie, pretty like real life Tommy Wiseau.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, so Lisa here, I'm sorry, with the Lisa thing is just this whole, who is Lisa? And then we have again a little bit of I love how we worked it in as like a little through line, a little bit of real life Joshua Thomas, Katie Marigold running gag in there, which is like the disdain he has for the one child. Just, wow, what a
Wow,
stupid
what a
question.
stupid question.
It's like just what is Tommy Wiseau's version of Joshua Thomas's Garfield Nermal
Oh
dynamic?
God.
Well, now we know. Now we see it. I'm loving every minute of this so far. Then we have Katie just killing it right here with a hatchet. Man, I love it. We're just well, I'm sorry. Before that,
Mommy Wiseau is like, where do you get the money for that? That's no problem. No,
but
where do you get the
where?
money for that?
Don't worry about it.
Don't
Okay.
worry about it, okay?
It's just again Piper again. Well, again, she's kind of suffering from the bunch here. Again, all still doing a great job. I love this, but where did you get the money for? It's really funny. So the edit and the performance is really great here. As they're kind of mixing it up, we have this perfect smash edit to well, not smash. We have this great edit within the pause to Katie, just kind of just
Okay, wow.
Okay, wow. So then we have the MVP Katie Mary Garland moment here where she opens
I'm tearing you apart, Lisa.
Yeah, so the idea I think is that we're kind of dissecting Tommy Wiseau's personalities and the versions of
Right,
himself as
right,
the room
right.
does. So in
Yeah.
this case, again, so Poncio is he's basically real life Tommy
He's
Wiseau.
like real life Tommy, like after the
Yeah,
room fame.
exactly. Then you have basically I want to say like kind of the shouting Tommy Wiseau that is as mainly Katie Mary Garland.
Oh,
And also a little bit of kind of the Greg Sestero love fest that is also Katie Mary Garland.
and then I feel like Joshua Thomas is full on just Johnny from the room.
Yeah, basically he's pretty exactly. And and then basically Piper again. She's pretty much everything else. She's pretty much basically she's the well, it's kind of hard to place exactly what Piper's. Piper's like she's kind of the I want to say Tommy the writer with the dialogue and everything. I want
Sure, sure.
maybe again it's kind of it's a not a great comparison, but I'm sure there's a better one I'm not thinking of. Anyway, point being is I'm telling you about Lisa. I just oh god the way she just it's so ridiculous yet so fun the way she just acts. And then we cut to Tommy and Mommy Wiseau here where they're just mouthing the rest of it because they know it.
Why, Lisa? Why?
Why isn't Lisa wrapping paper? Why? So again, Poncio is again also Poncio gets the sunglasses and everything. None of them had, from what I could tell, none of them had two belts. Poncio might have had the two belts, but
Oh God.
um. So anyway, so with the sunglasses and the vest and everything, just so flawless. What did you get? What's in it? This like it's just that he just doesn't want to say. He's just like, don't
Oh,
don't tell me
you
you're
don't
chicken.
know? What are you, a chicken?
Cheap, cheap, cheap. Just a group of
Cheep,
cheap
cheep,
cheaps.
cheep, cheep, cheep.
So then we get the now.
Don't touch me, motherfucker. Which that right there, that delivery, I think, is the most spot on of the whole sketch. I
It
think.
is. It is. And I love that we have kind of the ambient kind of room music in the background. Thanks, a la Milos. Just kind of get a little bit of that in there. Like during these pauses, you hear like that background music.
Oh,
Says, okay, I open it, okay, and then we have the now calm Poncio just saying, wow, okay. Just, all right, so then we have room references aplenty. Like, buckle up, folks. If you like the room, I mean, the room's about to start spinning, kids. So we open the Lisa box and we reveal what I believe in the movie was also like kind of ambiguous. If we ever did, you remember if we ever saw the drugs? Per
no, we
se?
don't.
Okay, we never saw the. Well, that's why I like
It's
that. It's
literally just Denny waiting for the drug dealer. The drugs never actually come up.
right. I forgot about that. Okay, so basically, yeah, they interrupted.
Oh, God bless Chris R.
Okay, the point being,
Dragon, if they put Chris R into this sketch, who do you think would have played him?
it's simple. We know who played him, Tiki.
Who?
It's gotta be. You know who it has to be.
Tell me.
It's gotta be Corey Olenek.
Oh, of course, of course.
We cast Chris R as him in the biopic.
You're right. You're right.
Okay, anyway, so we have like an ambiguous sort of drug. I think they're pills. It looks like it's kind of hard to tell. Anyway, so these pill-like drugs. We reveal drugs. It's drugs. What kind of drugs? Then again, this is where Piper.
This is where Piper kind of shines, I think.
Yeah, shines, but again, overly shines. Again, she's doing great here. By the same token, it's like she's acting too much. Pull it back, Piper. Pull it back. You're too good in the scene.
It matters a great deal. I definitely have breast cancer.
Which is just hilarious. Well, folks, now breast cancer is hilarious.
Well,
very far from hilarious. But again, the idea of someone in the room having breast cancer.
And just like randomly announcing it out of nowhere, casually.
And to add on to that, making it Mommy Wiseau. So again, we have justified why we have Mommy Wiseau in here too. We're actually giving her the mother role from the Roots. Genius. It's great.
Uh-huh.
And I love this sponsor here, like, where did you get drugs? And basically teeing up the big money line, which of course we got to give to our star Joshua Thomas here. It says, from Dad, okay, and then
I did not give her drugs. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not give her drugs. I did not. Then, of course, throwing the water bottle right at KMG's head.
And again, doing a little, the Garfield normal dynamic
yeah.
between the two, just perfectly. It's like, let's throw a water bottle. This is the Sam Raimi school of acting, of directing, all that, performance. Like, just toss the lead at the act. Just toss something at the actor's head. It'll be fine. We're trained for this. They got it. They take tennis balls at the head all the time. It's fine.
And then, of course, what comes right after that famous line?
The big, when I was watching this, you got like a big "oh my god" moment, because I was saying, I hope you guys. At the start of this thing, in the preamble, I was like, guys, there's this one bit I really hope you work it in there. Okay, I'm praying to God you work this one gag in this. So then when this happened, like, yes,
they did it.
So yes, it happened. We got our wish. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yeah. And they timed it just perfectly.
Yep. Just as again, the height of we do the big line, we toss something at Katie's head. Enter the real star.
Mark Sipka. Hi, Mark.
Mark Sipka, folks.
Oh god, Dragon! If there was ever just a moment in the Just Giggle It sketches that was just built up to from the get-go, it was this.
It was.
This is the culmination.
Never has there been a more important Mark Sipka cameo in any of the JGI. Never, ever.
Absolutely.
So just when he walked, honestly, they could have. I always expect they would probably end the sketch. I like that we went beyond that, but I'm just saying I could have gone home happy after this. Sipka enters as in just perfectly as Greg, and now it's I don't. He's probably Greg for other reasons, like many people did during the quarantine. But we kind of justified the long Mark Sipka hair. Doing the Greg Sestero mullet. Mullet-ish thing he's got going on there. So Mark Sipka as Mark, a.k.a. Greg Sestero, with a birthday cake in tow. Oh, hi, Mark. Just the whole thing. Perfect. Could have ended there. So then Mark, we reveal, and this is just perfect and Freudian in all the right ways. Mark is dating Katie Wiseaus here.
Yes. Oh, God.
Just the wonderful Freudian layers which people look into the subtext and disaster artists and everything else about the relationship between him and Tommy. That Tommy may have wanted a little bit more. It's unclear. Might have seen him as his ward. Might have seen him as something more. It's unclear. Anyway, so this is the fact that they're dating. I love that protective Papa Tommy here. So he's kind of judging the new boyfriend at the table, which is really funny.
Yes. Oh, hi, Mark.
Yep. I brought cake. Wow. Thank you, Mark. So then, let's see. So Mark is asking Katie, are those drugs? That leads to the Aunt Martha speech. Now, I think it's my favorite subtle gag in the whole thing. I love that we gave him an Aunt Martha because, Martha, it's kind of in the Markish sort of area with if Mark had an extended family that we saw, what would they be named? Well, they'd all have M names.
Oh God.
And so Aunt Martha, Tiki, what's the lowdown?
She had a drug problem in the 1980s. She used to be a baker. She owned her own shop, and everybody around her in the neighborhood was doing drugs all the time. One day, she went to put flour in the cookies, and it turned out it was cocaine. Next thing you know, a week later, she ends up in the hospital on Guerrero Street. Dragon, did I ever tell you the story of the Guerrero Street thing?
Well, I've read the disaster artist. I know what that's.
Oh, you know what the Guerrero Street. Okay, so
yeah,
love the Guerrero Street story.
yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
I want to visit Guerrero Street in San Francisco one day.
It would be funny.
That'd be fun just to say I did it. Anyways,
there's no hospital. Wait, is there technically a hospital there now, or?
I don't know. It'd be funny if there was.
No, because I heard something that they might have actually in the. I don't know. Anyway, I'm thinking misremembering the thing, but anyway, yes. So,
Joshua Thomas just has the perfect hands behind the neck thing.
Mm-hmm, that's what I'm saying. It gets all the money lines from Johnny here. It was just like, oh, what a story, Mark.
What a story, Mark.
Just perfect. No, you're right. The pose, and again, the editing to the pose. The editing's really, really polished on this, as you'd expect from a Piper Hinson production, as well as Josh Thomas in the editing room as well. So, all right. So then, Alex Wiseaus suggest tossing the football around, and they all love this idea.
I love how they just don't even bother to invite Mark.
Okay, bye.
That's obviously a parody of the whole leaving Denny thing, going upstairs to have sex while Denny just got there.
Exactly. And also, this is to give credit where credit's due. I love that Sipka was given like this perfect measured performance of, again, it's corny as all. It's pretty. It's a bad model. It's a bad speech, but he's kind of acting as if a guy who couldn't act would act that scene with his heart.
Right, right.
It's like acting it just bad enough. Again, Piper needs to take notes from Sipka here. Is what I'm saying. Just you need it just bad enough.
Uh-huh.
Right. Okay. So anyway, so they're all leaving as Mark is left to ponder things at the dinner table.
God.
What are some of the things that he ponders, Tiki?
Basically like the chicken thing, like who eats just chicken for dinner with a spoon?
Okay, the spoon thing. I love that they did the spoon thing so much. I was expecting like a picture of a spoon. This is even better. Like, why did they just use spoons only as
They
the
just
main
use
utensil?
spoons for everything.
Which, by the way, speaking of the spoon thing, I've talked to Piper a little bit about this. We're all still apparently she was smart and she heard about this thing. She invested in the Kickstarter for the Roomful of Spoons documentary, which I'm looking forward to watching that once it eventually comes out. And now all the legalese is through. They're actually gonna be able to release that at some point.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, yes. So then he's asking, "Why do I love this girl?" And he tries eating with the spoon. Oh god, I love that the whole Lisa box is perfectly in frame too, like the box of Lisa. So there's a story about this last Tiki. There is if you go on the Discord, you're going to have the alternate version of this last kind of montage.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of a story like the father and son thing from Harley Quinn and Joker versus the Real World. So what happened here? So we have the Wiseaus end credits. So here's what happened. So originally, the way it's shot, they kept the same footage, just there was more audio played. It was very specific audio players where it's modeled identically after the full. It's pretty much modeled identically after the Full House, opening sequence.
Uh-huh.
Now, originally, and you can listen to it on. I don't know if it's on their Instagram as well as Discord. It's on Discord and someplace else. You have Tommy Wiseau, voiced by Joshua Thomas, doing kind of a parody of the Full House lyrics, but pretty much advertising the room and talking about stuff from the room.
God.
Which is hilarious, and I really wish they kept that in there. But Piper made the executive decision. I'm not throwing shade here. She made a watch. Basically, the call.
I think it was smart. I think it was smart because it just gives it just like a sitcom-y feel. Like you don't really need. You kind of get the you kind of get the Full House of it all without the big over the top joke. And we've heard plenty of the accent already.
Yeah, I mean, we get it from the from the Red Door. It's like iconically Full House. It's always that red door.
Sure.
I mean, you got it. But it was just basically she was afraid there was a fear of like a copyright sort of thing. Which again, I think the lyrics and the Tommy Wiseau of it all being so present there, I don't think there would have been a concern. But she played it safe. And again, ultimately, Tiki, I think you're right, but it's also really funny.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so some of this kind of sitcom-y montage. So we have the tossing the football around. We have just these sitcom credit moments where we reveal who played who. Where it's like Tommy Wiseau as like Josh is striking a pose, and then we have Mommy Wiseau. She's trying to cook a football. Just funny. Then we have Sister Wiseau playing a little tea party with a football, which is it's crazier as it goes on. Poncio as Brother Wiseau gives like the '90s shrug, like the oh well. Shenanigans, Dave Coulier. I don't know. Then we have the car. Now the car shot. Did you catch the bit in the car shot?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so when they're all getting in the car and they're all driving off, kind of like a Full House. Josh, Tommy Wiseau, he's looking straight into the camera.
Oh yeah, I did catch that.
It's just so funny. It's like it's like just like he did when they were shooting the. Oh, it's great. Then they kind of re-enter as like Mark's just still sitting there at the table, and they're always like going through the curtain, and the curtain being a deep pull from like how the apartment was separated with Greg and Tommy.
Of course, we have Mark Sipka as Mark.
Yep. And we have like the last shot here where like they're all laughing in front of the door. This is pretty much the only shot we had going into this thing.
Yeah. That was the only indicator. Just the whole ah ha 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 ha.
Now you're probably wondering, how can it get any better? Well, we have a little tag gag, a little subscriber tag, kind of post credit, Tiki. Now, what is that post credit?
Oh hi Kitty.
Kind of write yourself on the thing. Yeah. So hi Kitty.
Sorry.
But yeah, I love that we kind of switched out the it's Piper Hinson. I don't know if it's her new cat or what, because she unfortunately lost the cat last
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Point being, I don't know, it's an old footage. Maybe actually it might have been the cat, maybe kind of a loving tribute to the cat. I don't know. Point being,
Possibly.
Piper's cat is in there, which again I like that we've kind of taken the cat lover and Josh and Piper, and we kind of switched out the dog, like the hi doggy. All right, and that's all she wrote, Tiki. What do you think? Final thoughts?
All right, so yeah, final thoughts. I just think this was really worth the wait. I think Piper directed it beautifully. I really like the fact that all four of the main leads kind of have like a different flavor of Tommy Wiseau. I think the references to the room are handled pretty flawlessly. It's not just a bunch of references. It's actually like worked into the into the fabric of the sketch really well. I just overall, Dragon, I think this is easily one of the in the upper echelon of JGI sketches. I really think it's kind of like the culminations of a lot of things they've been doing with their sketches recently.
Yeah, you gotta remember too. This is like the last thing they shot before the end times. Essentially, this is kind of like last kind of pure JGI before we've had to go and change things a little bit, kind of our approach and how we do things. Which again has been interesting. It's been fun to see, but still, I mean, this is like the last like prime cut JGI. Man, this is pretty. I don't know if this is still true given how things turned out. This was teased up as their 80th sketch. This is kind of a big deal. So, but yeah, so Piper Hinson. She's such a brilliant director. I love her style. This is like a comedic passion project for her, as kind of the whole room connectivity thing I mentioned earlier, the whole chain letter effect. Again, it's a very LA. The Room is a very LA infused story with the two guys trying to make it out big and they kind of turn out the room. It's a very LA centric story. So I think this couldn't be in better hands than the folks at JGI, given their own kind of bootstrap story. It's a very funny concept. It's an amazing tribute to the Room and kind of the what it spawned with Tommy Wiseau. I love that ultimately it's not just where other sketch comedy things would have gone. We did not do here, as of course JGI's stamp. They do sketch comedy better than pretty much everyone else. Where it's not just your comedy, it's not just your players in wigs. It's more than them in wigs. They're different. There's so much thought and effort put into this thing. All the references. It's a gimmick done right. And I put this down in the comments for this thing. I'm just going to share it here once. Is that
okay?
So Cobra Kai started on YouTube, started as a YouTube series, ended up on Netflix. Wayne started off as a YouTube series, ended up on Amazon. Here's what we need: we need Harley Quinn and Joker versus the Real World to end up on HBO Max, and maybe in a perfect world, the Wiseaus ends up on Hulu.
Oh my god!
That's what we need. We need to recognize all this JGI talent in the room here. This is too good to ignore. This is all great stuff.
I do think that JGI are like the unsung heroes of YouTube comedy, just in general, man. They are just so high caliber in their performance and in their execution.
I tell you, it's just a matter of time. Again, seeing with the Cobra Kai and the Wayne of it all, it's just a matter of time before JGI eventually gets their big series break at some point.
I'm hoping.
All right. It does until the next exciting reach into the Just Giggle grab bag. Okay.
Don't touch me, motherfucker.
Why, Lisa?